or father of many nations. Read on.
Verse 6. And I will make thee exceedingly fruitful.
And it says he will make him exceeding fruitful. Read on.
And I will make thee, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee.
And it says he will make nations of them, of Abram, and many kings shall come out of him. So he says he will make him exceeding fruitful, which means he will allow Abram to have many children. It says, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. So many nations came out of Abraham, and many kings came out of the loins of Abram. Read on.
Verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee.
So once again, the Most High is reiterating the fact that he is making his covenant between him and Abram, or Abraham. Read on.
And thy seed after thee, in their generations.
Read that again.
And thy seed after thee.
So not only is he establishing his covenant with Abram, or Abraham, he's also establishing his covenant with Abraham's seed that come after Abraham. Read on.
And I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee, and their generations for an everlasting covenant.
And it says, for his generations for an everlasting covenant. It says, and I will establish my covenant between me and thee, and thy seed after thee. So the children that come out of Abraham's loins, the chosen seed that will come out of his loins, would he give the covenant to, and the covenant would be, once again, an everlasting covenant. Now, for some people, that's not enough, for them to realize that this covenant that the Most High made with Abraham and his seed is an everlasting covenant, and that covenant never changed. You have people teaching in the earth today that the children of Israel, the same children that the Most High made an everlasting covenant with, that came out of the loins of Abraham, they're teaching that the children of Israel are done away with. But we're going to go into the Strong's Concordance. We're going to get the definition of everlasting out of the Strong's Concordance. And what this would do is it would give you a better understanding of the covenant that the Most High is making with Abraham. It'll give you a better understanding on what everlasting actually means, because a lot of people read the scripture and it seems like they pass over the fact that the Most High said that he will make an everlasting covenant. So we have to actually go into a Strong's Concordance or to a dictionary or something of that nature to actually prove what everlasting means. Because it's obvious within the society that people don't even know what everlasting means anymore. So we in the Strong's Concordance, and the number for everlasting, let me get it. Let's get the number for everlasting. The number for everlasting is 5269. Excuse me, not 5269. 5769, excuse me. So we're in the Strong's Concordance of the Bible for those who have never came across or never heard of a Strong's Concordance. This is a Strong's Concordance of the Bible, and what this does is it gives you the actual word that was written in the Hebrew and Greek scriptures. For the Old Testament, it gives you what was actually there in the Hebrew before the English translation, and for the Greek, for the New Testament, it gives you what was actually written in the Greek before the English translation. And it also gives you a reference or precept for each scripture that is contained within the Bible. So we're in the Strong's Concordance, number 5769. And we're going to get the definition of everlasting. I need you to read that, everlasting. And the Hebrew word for everlasting is I-walam, which means everlasting or forever.
5769, Strong Concordance. Everlasting, Awalam. From 5956, conceal, the vanishing point.
It says conceal, the vanishing point. Now the vanishing point means that something is as a matter of fact, let's go into the dictionary because I have the understanding, but I want to go into the dictionary in order to give you a full understanding of what vanishing point means. Vanishing point basically means something existing even beyond the point that is supposed to be ceased. And to kind of explain it better, I want to get it out of the dictionary. Right here, we're in the Webster's New World Dictionary, or we're in the Webster's Dictionary, so you don't think that this is any type of foreign dictionary that we just pulled out of nowhere. This is a regular Webster's Dictionary. And the word we're looking for is vanishing point. Let's read that. Vanishing point. Let's read the second definition.
Vanishing point, a time, place, or stage at which something disappears or ceases to exist.
So it says a time, place, or stage at which something ceases to exist. Let's go back into the Strong's Concordance. Finish reading the definition for the word forever or everlasting, which is Iwalam in the Hebrew.
Everlasting, Iwalam. The vanishing point, time out of mind, past or future.
So it says time out of mind. So everlasting means it says time out of mind. So the time is no time put on this particular reference or this particular, when Moses says that he will make an everlasting covenant, when you go into the Hebrew, it says time out of mind. So the Most High didn't have a appointed time within his mind when he said everlasting. Read on.
Practically eternity.
It says practically eternity. So this covenant that the Most High is making with Abraham is an eternal covenant. Read on.
Always.
It says always. Read on.
Everlasting.
Everlasting. This is an everlasting covenant. Read on.
Perpetual.
Perpetual, which means it continues. It's a continual covenant. Read on.
Evermore. Evermore. Time. Ancient. World. Always.
So once again, we're seeing the word always to let you know that this covenant or everlasting means eternity or eternal. Let you know that, to give an example, we know that the Most High is eternal, that the Most High always existed. The same thing goes for this covenant that the Most High is making with Abraham. He's letting Abraham know that this covenant that he's making is an eternal covenant, which means that this covenant will never cease to exist. We back in Genesis, the 17th chapter, and we can start at the, go back to the 7th verse.
Genesis chapter 17, verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee.
So the Most High said that he will establish his covenant between him and Abraham. Read on.
And thy seed after thee.
And his seed after him, his children that come after him. We are the children that come out of Abraham, that came after Abraham out of Isaac and Jacob. Read on.
And their generations for an everlasting covenant.
And it says for their generations for an everlasting covenant. Read on.
To be a power unto thee, and to thy seed
and it
after
says
thee.
He will be a power or a God unto us, and unto Abraham and his seed after Abraham, or the children that come after Abraham. Read on.
Verse 8. And I will give unto thee, and to thy seed after thee, the land wherein thou art a stranger.
And he said, he let him know that he will give him and his seed after him the land in which he was a stranger. What land is that? Read on.
All the land of Canaan.
It says all the land of Canaan, which is modern day Israel, both the northern and southern kingdom. Read on.
for an everlasting possession, and I will be their power.
And it says, for an everlasting possession, and he will be our power, or he will be our God. Read on.
And the Most High said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore.
Matter of fact, go back to verse 8 and read where he says he will give us the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession.
Verse 8, all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession.
And the Most High said that he will give us the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession. To let you know once again that that land belongs to us for eternity. That land belongs to us for an everlasting possession. So the people